guys.
Well,
Yes, I know. I've been going for a while. It's been almost 2 weeks. I'm back. Thank you. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm very sorry. Don't attack me. But yeah. So I actually just filmed the whole intro, and the whole time the microphone was not on, I almost lost my shit. Yeah, I'm sorry for the break. I've been gone for a little while, but I am back. I've been working on something while I was gone, something that I'm so excited for you guys to see. It's gonna be my first serious video essay. I've literally been doing so much research. I can't wait for you guys to see it. It's gonna come out sometime this month. I don't know when, but I've been working on it for a while, so look out for that. And also, my birthday passed. Yeah, my birthday's on November 11th. I turned 22 years old. I know I look 50, but you know, let's not talk about that. I had my birthday weekend, as people say, I think. I went to the movies to see Black Panther with my mom and my best friend. That was awesome. I had a wonderful time. I went to go see Rina Sawayama and Drew live, one of my best friends. Love her. Shout out to you, Yazzie. She got me tickets to go see Rina Sawayama and Drew live. I love Rina and I love Drew. If you know them, you know. If you don't know, you need to know. But yeah, so I am back, and today we're gonna be talking about franchises, and are there too many franchises? Why am I making this video? Well, I was on Twitter the other day, you know, the place that Elon Musk is currently seeking out to destroy for some reason. But I was on Twitter and I saw a lot of people arguing about franchises and how there's way too many franchises, there's too much to follow, and how it's just, it's starting to become oversaturated. And honestly, I think I want to dive into this discussion. So recently I had also seen some franchise films in the span of like 2 weeks, like back to back to back. I went to go see Black Panther, which is a part of a franchise, of course, Marvel. I went to go see Terrifier 2, which is its own franchise, you know, in the horror division. I went to go see Black Adam. That was pretty cool too. That's a part of DC. I like that movie. And then I went to go see Halloween. I didn't like the newest Halloween, but I did love the other ones. Halloween is fantastic, and that is a part of the horror division as well. So all of those films, seeing them like week after week after week, it did start to feel a little fatigued. Oh my gosh. I just realized I'm gonna go see another movie today. Wow. But yeah, after seeing all those week after week after week, it does start to be quite a bit. And honestly, that's where I decided this video will actually be a good thing to make. So after watching these films, I'm be honest, I did start to feel a little franchise fatigue. You know, the movies were all good, besides Halloween. That was a bad one. But even though the movies were good, it did feel like a little too much. It felt like I was watching story after story after story, which is, of course, that's what watching movies is. But my brain, like, I don't know why, it starts to hold the information and it starts to take a lot of that and be like, okay, this is quite a bit.
Excuse me,
But see, watching the movies wasn't even the big problem. The problem is, after watching those movies, I went home to watch TV shows. And those TV shows are also their own franchise. I watched things such as Stranger Things, Sandman, She-Hulk, I tried Rings of Power. Couldn't really get into it. I need to really like delve into that eventually. I heard it's very good. But all those shows, even those are franchises. And I'm gonna be honest, after a minute, I was like, okay, this is starting to feel like a lot. But then, not even that was it. After watching the movies and then watching the shows, I then started playing video games. Now, I do like me a good game. I'm a little bit of a gamer. I'm not like a person that's like game after game after game after game. I pick and choose specific little games I want to play, beat the game, take a break. Same thing, like, oh, a new game that I love. Let me go get that real quick, you know?
Sure, Jan.
But games are also their own franchises. I don't think people realize that. Games have sequels, games have DLC, games have side stories and main stories and extra characters. And there's so much going on in the games. It's like, that is also its own franchise. And sometimes it's all part of a franchise where they have a movie, a show, and a game that are all part of the same franchise. I'm just saying, it's a lot. I ended up playing games such as like Gotham Knights, which I really did like that game. I love that game. I played Assassin's Creed, what's the name of it again? Valhalla, I think. And the last game that I tried to get into was God of War, so I can play God of War Ragnarok eventually. And I couldn't really fully get into it. But I say all this to say, you see how I brought up all those movies, all those shows, all those games. All that was just October and November. Like, and November's not even done, at least at the time of me filming this. So it's like, that's a lot. That's quite a bit. And that's just me. And that's just recently. That's not all the franchises that I'm in currently. So I do think that that was a very big question of, are there too many franchises? And even with those things, I have so many other franchises and things to get into, but I have no time to do it. Such as Game of Thrones and House of Dragon. You know, all my friends and family have watched that and they always tell me to get into it. I have never seen Game of Thrones and I have not watched House of Dragon. And I don't know when that will happen because it's just so much, like so many episodes, so much time. And then I've also heard things about Yellow Jacket, yeah, Yellow Jacket, and how amazing that is. And another show I think called Yellowstone, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then White Lotus, I constantly hear people tell me to watch that, and it's like, these are things that I know if I get into it and I do like it, I'm going to be sucked into it. It's gonna be a whole nother franchise to add on to my humongous list of franchises. But you guys are not here to just hear about what I like and what I'm into. You guys are here to ask the same question as me. Is it too much? Well, like I said, I do think sometimes people can be fatigued. Like I can be fatigued and even audience can be fatigued. And when I say fatigued, I mean sometimes it could be like a media overload where it's too many things that people are getting into and it can cause disinterest in other things. So like say if I'm in all these franchises and somebody comes to me and they're like, oh my gosh, you need to watch The Boys. And I'm like,
No, I'm watching DC, I'm watching Marvel, I'm watching Invincible, I'm watching this, I'm watching that, I'm reading this, I'm playing Gotham Knights, I'm doing all this stuff. I am not about to watch another superhero show.
and that's not to say the show is bad. The show is very good. But the thing is, the reason why people are not really so inclined to get into it is because of oversaturation in the market and how there are so many franchises, especially similar franchises, that are all there. And that person may be like, I'm in too much already. I don't have enough time to spread to get into something else. And the reason why people don't have enough time is because people are busy. I'm just saying, like, we got work, okay? There's inflation. Okay, there's just so much going on in the world right now, and it's like it's just too much to try to like keep up with so many shows and movies and games. Of course, those are fantastic distractions to give us a break from the real world, but at the same time, when does it become just a break or become your life? I'm just saying. Also, becoming a fan is a lot of work. When you become a fan of something, I don't think people realize this. You become like enveloped in it. You want to get merchandise such as books, keychains, toys, jewelry, art. You also want to get clothing. You also want to watch the spin-offs that come from those series and those movies and those shows and all those different things. You want to watch the spin-offs. You want to then you go follow all of them on social media. You want to see what they're posting about and how cool it is. And it's like, you're doing all that for one specific thing. Imagine following like thousands of franchises and doing all that for every single franchise. Like, oh my gosh, that starts to become a lot. Then your pockets start to go empty. Your time is taken over, and you're basically Smeagol from Lord of the Rings after that. But I am gonna play devil's advocate here and say the other side of the argument. Is it too much? Or is there just a lot to choose from? Is it just a variety? Here's where I saw the other side of the argument. You don't have to watch everything. Nobody's forcing you to watch or play any of these games or movies or shows. It's a choice. You have a selection. And the bigger the selection, the better it is for you to pick and choose. When you pick and choose these different selections, you actually do get to join a community. And that community, that fandom, with all the different toys and games and artwork and all those different things, it's cool to be a part of a community. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a part of a bunch of different communities, and I love seeing the artwork for Stranger Things and the artwork for Heartstopper. It's cool. It's fun. And seeing the shirts and the coats and the toys, and it's just, I don't know. It's pretty cool, and you get to talk to people in those communities about the thing that you guys like. All of these different franchises, yes, sometimes people may feel like it's a bad thing because it's too much. But you can allocate your time to specific franchises, specific things, and just leave the rest out of the way. Maybe you don't want to get involved in that. But the biggest thing that you have to remember when it comes to that, if you want to be that person to not have to get involved in everything, don't let FOMO rule you. Don't let the fear of missing out on things being the biggest thing for you. Because if you do, then you are going to be like fatigued when it comes to all these franchises, and you're going to then start being mad because you're going to be like, this is oversaturated. But here's the thing, it's not. They're just giving you a lot to pick and choose from. I know you probably already know this, but if you're a person that doesn't know this, don't let FOMO rule you. If that friend comes to you and is like, girl, or guy, or bro, you need to go listen to Billy's album and you need to watch Game of Thrones, and you're like,
I'm already listening to Drake and I'm watching Rings of Power. I'm not watching Game of Thrones. I'm not listening to Billy. I love you. You're an awesome friend, but I'm into something already.
And maybe you may hear a selection, and maybe like somebody may be like, oh, you need to go listen to Red Hot Chili Peppers, or is it Red Hot? No, it's Hot Chili Peppers, right? Or is it Red Hot? I don't know. But somebody be like, you need to listen to their album, and you need to also watch this new Marvel movie. You may be like, you know what, I might do that. And you might do it and join a fandom. But don't let the fear of missing out rule you to the point that you're saying yes to everything that somebody's recommending, because then you are going to feel like it's just oversaturated and it's too much. So what's my verdict? My verdict is selection is not a bad thing. All these franchises just have a huge selection. Now, you don't want to let FOMO rule you, so you don't get into every selection. But when you do find your few things that you like, hey, it's a cool thing. You know, you're gonna feel happy to have those things that create your space. You know, you may have a Marvel poster on your wall in your room, and you may also have a Stranger Things like banner. And it's like, cool, you love that. You went and got that because you joined that fandom. Just because you don't have a Game of Thrones things in your room doesn't mean, and your friend has it in their room, doesn't mean you need to go get it. No, you don't need to join that fandom if you don't want to. And I feel like all these franchises kind of make us low-key who we are. Like, all these franchises teach us different lessons, and they show us different things, and we kind of get involved in them and delve deep, and we're like, oh, I like this, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I feel like, you know, when you find your selection, it's a fun time, you know, and it makes you. It shows who you are and what your taste of movies and shows and music and stuff is. And when you find a good one, oh, it's a fun ride. It's a fun ride. Think about your favorite franchise right now, and I bet you're like, oh, yeah. I love these, or I love that, and it just make you smile because it's a fun time. So I would just say be a bit more selective so you don't get fatigued. Be respectful when you're selective. You know, there's no need to be disrespectful to people in comment sections or your friends or your family. You should politely say, I'm not going to get into that because I'm already watching a lot. Boom. Just be a bit more selective. I feel like that's pretty cool, you know? Now, a fun thing that I'm going to do at the end of this video before I end the video is let's count all the franchises that I am currently in, or that I'm currently in or I was in. And let's see how far Amir is. So, we have the MCU, the DCU, The Walking Dead, the Conjuring universe, Invincible, The Boys, Fear Street, Pokemon, Dragon Ball, Harry Potter, Star Wars, To All the Boys, Heartstopper, Demon Slayer, Godzilla verse, all the Godzilla movies, Nightmare on Elm Street, John Wick, Texas Chainsaw, Terrifier, Halloween, Little Witch Academia, Death Note, Fullmetal Alchemist, One Piece, Fairytale, and honestly, there are a lot more. I just don't feel like listing everything right now. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. As you see, I'm in a bunch of franchises. I don't know if I'll be joining any more else soon. That's why if you guys watch my Warhammer video, like I'm also in Dungeons and Dragons. That's like a thing I'm into. But if you watch my Warhammer video, you'll see like you know, cool. I appreciate the people that suggested the Warhammer stuff, but I don't think I'm going to be joining that franchise. I think I'm good where I am. But I do appreciate you, all of you guys, for watching and for joining me. You know, you guys are fantastic. I love each and every one of you, and I do hope that you all have a wonderful day. And I can't wait to see you guys later. You guys are my besties, as we all know. But I will talk to you guys later. Bye. I gotta go watch this movie. Okay. This is about to be a whole nother franchise too.